I need a word with you. Your family's lives are at stake. What?
With the success of Despicable Me 4, it's almost certain that the franchise will continue with another film premiering on the big screen. However, now that Gru has changed his life drastically, willing to give up his identity to keep his family safe from villains like Maxime, fans wonder what could be next for the die-hard family man, especially as his children continue to grow up. While it's possible he and Lucy won't work for the AVL forever, numerous plot lines could bring Gru's story to a satisfying close in Despicable Me 5. In today's video, we'll discuss 5 ways the universe of Despicable Me could continue in the next film.
Thanks, Ron.
Number 1. Poppy becomes the next villain. Fans met a new favorite character with the debut of Poppy Prescott in Despicable Me 4. One of the Gru family's new neighbors, Poppy is a teenage girl aspiring to become the world's next supervillain. Unlike her parents, she recognizes Gru and uses his true identity to blackmail him into cooperating with her plan. Well aware of Gru's history of stealing famous landmarks and objects, Poppy requests his help stealing the mascot of Lycée Pas Bon, Lenny the honey badger. Although Poppy comes off as cruel and ruthless, she also has a secret soft side, much like Gru. Her demeanor begins to change after the pair successfully steal Lenny. Once safely away from the school, Poppy starts to behave warmly to Gru and his family, motivated by witnessing how Gru Jr. hugs and behaves positively toward Lenny. It's evident that Poppy is much kinder than the other villains Gru has met on his adventures, and as a teenager, she still has plenty to learn. She befriends Gru and the rest of his family, spending time with Margot and her sisters before Maxime arrives to kidnap Gru Jr. However, it's uncertain whether meeting Gru changes Poppy's dreams from becoming a villain to becoming a force of good. It's possible that her successful heist at Lycée Pas Bon gave her a taste of her future career. While most films in the franchise feature standalone villains introduced in their respective films, the writers may have tried something new by introducing Poppy early and establishing a connection between her, Gru, and the fans. She may return in Despicable Me 5 as the villain she always wanted to be. Unfortunately, gaining so much notoriety means the Anti-Villain League's best agents must stop her. It would be one of the most personal fights Gru has faced so far, and he may do his best to convince Poppy to give up and use her skills for the greater good. Number 2. Gru Jr. becomes a spy. While the Despicable Me films are comedies on the surface, made interesting by the minions or the wacky one-off villains introduced with each installment, the franchise is a family story at its core. The themes of found family, love, and personal growth echo from film to film, showcased in how Gru's character continues to evolve and change due to his relationships with his wife and 4 children. Margot, Edith, and Agnes are essential parts of Gru's story. Without them, it's unlikely he would have changed his life for the better. However, Despicable Me 4 takes a step away from Gru's relationship with his daughters, which he has established throughout the past 3 films, to highlight instead the dynamic between himself and his newest child, Gru Jr. Although he's only a baby, Gru Jr. already has distinct personality traits. He's mischievous, cunning, and obviously prefers his mother. The father and son struggle to get along throughout the film, with Gru doing his best to bond with Jr. to no avail. Fortunately, Gru Jr. sees reason after Maxime kidnaps him. And although he's transformed into a roach hybrid, he can still recognize that his father is doing everything he can to save him. Overcoming their differences and working together, Gru and Gru Jr. finally reach a mutual understanding by the film's end. Now that he has learned to love and appreciate his parents equally, it's likely that Gru Jr. will grow up admiring them and their line of work. Despicable Me 5 could utilize a time skip, taking the franchise into the future where Gru Jr. aspires to follow in his parents' footsteps, becoming the next up-and-coming agent in the Anti-Villain League, with support from his older sisters who may have done the same.
I know you love your dada. Go on, say it. Dada. Dada.
Number 3. The Mega Minions take over. The Minions have always remained a crucial part of the Despicable Me franchise. They've become the face of their universe with merchandise and spin-off films based on their adventures. They've also become relevant in pop culture as characters that adults and children alike tend to enjoy. However, after appearing in major films, shorts, and video games, these characters needed something new to keep them relevant and entertaining to a broad audience. They received their upgrade in Despicable Me 4 when the Minions decided to help the AVL, with a group of 5 becoming the super-powered Mega Minions. With unique abilities ranging from flight to laser vision, the Mega Minions set forth to make the world better. However, they struggle with their new skills and make some situations worse than initially planned. The group eventually disperses, finding locations and hobbies worldwide to keep them busy and help them hone their new abilities. However, when they hear that Gru and his family need help, they rush to his aid and help apprehend Maxime. The transformation the Mega Minions undergo is irreversible, meaning that the 5 minions who gave their lives to testing superpowers will have them forever. However, the minions have always wanted to serve others, and there's no better way to achieve that dream than to help all of humanity. Now that the door has opened for the AVL to work alongside the minions, they may open a sector exclusively dedicated to creating Mega Minions in Despicable Me 5, relying on their help to stop villains worldwide. Number 4, Gru becomes a teacher. Throughout the Despicable Me films, Gru has shown that he's adept at helping children learn, grow, and become the best version of themselves. He couldn't help but take on a fatherly role in the lives of Agnes, Edith, and Margot, and he spent every film they shared trying to be the best parent he could be. He gives that same amount of effort to Gru Jr., determined to form a meaningful bond with his son. In Despicable Me 4, he's finally allowed to take on the role of mentor, something he had when he was still a child, learning the ropes as an aspiring villain. Following in the shoes of Knuckles from The Rise of Gru, he helps Poppy perform a heist, helping her achieve her goal of becoming a world-class villain like he once was. Many believe Poppy may return in future installments, be she a future villain or eventual sidekick to Gru in the AVL. However, Gru may take things a step further, using his experiences to take over as the principal of Lycée Pabon. Once a student of villainy, Gru knows what motivates high schoolers like Poppy because he was once one too. While he's already voiced his unwillingness to return to a life of crime, he could take on the monumental task of rehabilitating an entire school of future villains, teaching his students how great it is to be good.
Rule number 1. You will not touch anything.
What about the floor?
Number 5. Former villains band together. The franchise follows a specific formula that fans have come to rely on. Every film is viewable as a standalone experience with distinct villains made for each film's narrative. So far, these villains have yet to play a significant role outside of their debut film, but they do make cameos, allowing the audience to keep tabs on their experiences, with most ending up imprisoned within the AVL. However, now that the franchise has grown to include 6 films, it's possible that Gru's story could be reaching its end. For a beloved series, the finale of Despicable Me should be memorable. Now that the franchise has introduced countless enemies for Gru, the 5th installment would be the perfect time for these scorned enemies to band together as a united front, following Maxime's example to escape prison and enact revenge on their common enemy. The potential storylines for Despicable Me 5 present intriguing possibilities for the beloved characters and the franchise's future, while exploring Poppy's transformation, Gru Jr.'s possible future as a spy, or the further adventures of the Mega Minions. There are numerous directions the franchise could take. It will be interesting to see how the creators choose to develop the narrative and characters in the future. The fans can look forward to new and exciting developments in the world of Despicable Me, even if the next film's purpose is to bring an end to Gru's epic adventures.
The most important part of a heist is being aware of potential dangers.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
Our first customer is a man named Vector.
But he's a V.